Okay, so the audio was truly atrocious in the last video, so I've created a sort of different audio setup, and I hope this works a little bit better. Another thing I wanted to say about the mastery goal, feel free to come and have a chat with me and tell me, what you're interested in, and after your degree, whether it's clinical or something, and maybe I can help you join some goals for this semester to exactly what you want to do, bigger picture. So that's going to be really useful for you. Okay, obstacles. So you're not going to be perfect, and there's going to be times when you drop the ball, or perhaps there's common things that you do that get you off track from where you want to be during a semester. But accounting for these can reduce the likelihood of you being overwhelmed when they do happen. B comes after C. So A, becoming overwhelmed. B, not realizing that you're falling into the same trap again. So if you do this, you will be able to spot it quicker and then make a contingency based on it. And also C, the more often you do this and the more precise you get, you'll have less things to think about that will throw you off track, because you'll already build in to the original system how to account for them. So in the past, what has prevented you from reaching your goals? And what a coincidence. One of the things that has stopped me from reaching my goals before, particularly in undergraduate, is not proofreading and editing my work sufficiently. So that's the one thing I really learned way too late in my degree, but better late than never, that most of writing is editing. Once you've got the big bulk of words down, you've just become basically. So never hang yourself up on the first stage of writing, which is just put the ideas on the page, because writing begins really when editing starts. So not proofing my work sufficiently. What was another one? Not starting assignments early enough, and then skipping tutorials/lectures during busy periods, and then having to cram to catch up. I have a feeling that I might not be the only one in this situation. So prevention. What could I do for that? So what I actually do now is I set myself a different due date a few days earlier, so that I can aim to finish by then, and then I have a day that I can break and come back and reread it. And you'll probably always notice this when you reread your assignments you handed in. Suddenly the things that you skipped over before, you just see mistake. You're like, what am I talking about here in this sentence? I even had a fourth year assignment. Don't do this in fourth year. A fourth year assignment where there was a sentence in my conclusion that just stopped mid-sentence. You don't want to lose marks for something as silly as that. So please, please, please edit. What else? Also, not starting assignments early enough. What could I do for that? Maybe I could well, specifically with this assignment, you've got one assignment for this, so maybe I could work on assignment for at least 2 hours a week leading up to crunch time. This also gives you an extra time to get your head around the assignment, so when you're going in to complete it, you're not just sort of trying to figure out what the task is asking you from scratch. What else? Skipping tutorials and lectures during busy periods and then having to cram. This is a difficult one. What could you do? Well, one thing you could maybe have, if you have friends in the course, maybe you could have like an accountability buddy or team to make sure you're going. Maybe you could have a precise schedule. Sometimes if I know that I'm going to not do something and regret it later, but I know that when I'm in that position I'm going to talk myself out of doing it, I sometimes write myself a letter/note, which is usually, mildly abusive, talking to my future self who was wanting to not go to the tutorial or something, and be like, look, if you want blah, 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 actually if you want, you may want to revisit your goals. Remember why you're doing it, remember how high you're aiming, and think can you actually afford to fall behind, considering you're aiming for something that you're really only 70% sure that you can reach if you're trying your hardest. So if you're not trying your hardest and you're not putting in the work, you've got to be like 50%, 50-50, who knows. But that's probably what I would do. In regards to the current semester, what could prevent you from reaching your goals? Now this is using, and student off in the course actually will go through this, but this is using foresight. So one of the things you might want to do is sort of go to your planner, mid-month, oh my gosh, April, so this is in the semester. I know that my mum's birthday is here. There's Easter somewhere here, Easter here, so I think I might be going to Cairns in Easter. My goals specifically as well. So I know that I might fall behind on some of this work because, like my PhD work, because of marking. So if it was specifically for me, so mum's, actually my birthday as well is in May, mum's, mine, and a really good friend Millie's birthday this semester. Semester, potential Easter trip. This course actually has a substantial amount of marking. Marking greater than PhD due dates. So, prevention, I would schedule in to do more work beforehand and make up the hours. Schedule in breaks / make up hours before time off. So I try to do it before and then have the time off and know that I'm ready for it. Another thing I could do for marking and PhD due dates is stay on top of marking rather than cramming it. Maybe like 2 hours a day once assignments handed in. That way it's spread over a few weeks. still takes up quite a bit, but you know, I'm not going to have a full week where I'm just out of the game. Okay, that's pretty much obstacles. But you know, these are my specific ones, and I'm sure that people will have similar ones in common, but try to think of ones that are relevant to you. What do you usually do? Or what usually comes up for you? Do you have sports where you train on different days, or do you get tired? Do you work late nights? Do you party too much? I'm not sure what too much is, that's up to you. But try to make it specific to you and be as honest with yourself as you can. And also with the prevention, the answer isn't necessarily don't do these things that get in the way or be completely perfect about it, but just a little bit better. What's a small step that you can make that accounts for these things that you think you can actually maintain?